Greetings from Shashi Dream Foundation on a program Career in the Indian Navy. The topic for discussion today is career in the Indian Navy. भारतीय नौसेना, उसमें आप कैसे भर्ती हो सकते हैं, क्या क्या प्रोसीजर्स है, उसके बारे में बात करेंगे हम. ओके, आई एम प्रकाश, a veteran Indian Navy veteran. I served the Navy from 1976 to 1992, 16 long years, and I am from Kerala. To begin with, career in the Indian Navy, first of all you should know why the Indian Navy is required for the country. As most of you know, we have a very long coastline beginning from the east in Bengal, down south to Tamil Nadu and Kerala, again heading to the west, right up to Gujarat. We have got a very long coastline of about 7,500 kilometers, and this entire stretch has to be defended from prying eyes, your neighbor enemies, right? Most of you must be aware, we have fought close to 4 wars, and the Indian Navy was very pertinent then, especially in the 1971 war, where the Indian Navy had to do a lot, and we did it with much pride and honor. So how to get into the Navy, what are the entries like, what are the procedures, we shall go about it. Beginning with, there are 2 main types of entries in the Indian Navy. One is for the officers, naval officers, and one is for the sailors, the men. Let us begin with the officer section first. What are the entries available and how do you go about it? We'll start with the Combined Defence Service, CDSC, which requires graduates. The entry level qualification is of graduates, mainly BE and BTech, BE or BTech, and the age criteria will be from 19 years to about 24 years. Okay, higher level of qualification, if you have a PG, it is fine, there is no problem with that, it is always good. But the minimum level is a graduate for the Combined Defence Service examination. Now this is a UPSC examination. You have to undergo a written exam, apply to the UPSC, you have to go through the written exam. On clearing the written exam, you have to go through a process called Services Selection Board, SSB. Okay? And as far as the Navy is concerned, there are 5 main centers in India for SSB. There are 3 in the south. One is in Bangalore, one is in Coimbatore, the next one is in Visakhapatnam, Bhopal and Calcutta. These are the 5 SSB centers for the Navy. You will be called in for a Services Selection Board test, which is of 5 days in total. 5 days in total in 2 stages. SSB is conducted in 2 stages. Stage 1, where you have an officer's intelligence test, picture perception, and a group discussion. A general group discussion is on the stage 1. That will be for 1 day. Now all the candidates who get through stage 1 will go on to the stage 2, which is of 4 days. Right? Totally 5 days. Stage 1 is for 1 day. All those who clear stage 1 will go on to the next level, that is stage 2, which is of 4 days, a longer one. Stage 2 comprises of group task, group discussion, all your teamwork and all those things, just to assess you how well you fare as a member of a team. Because everyone in the armed forces, they don't work alone. It is not individual glory or pride. It is always the team, the group, the battalion, the regiment, the entire ship, entire squadron in the Air Force. So it is always a teamwork. So it is just to test how well you gel as a team and what are the initiatives you take as a team member. Are you capable of leading a team? All these things are put to test in those 4 long days in stage 2 of SSB. All the good ones who get selected in the stage 2 of SSB go through to the next level, which is a special medical examination, a detailed medical examination on you, which could be of 3 to 5 days. And this will be held at the nearest military hospital. The nearest military hospital to your place, it will be held there, it will be notified to you, you will be informed. One thing you have to remember, when you apply online, there are a lot of questions asked in that, and especially you cannot change your email ID and your mobile phone number. In the application, when you fill up, you have to give in these details of your mobile phone number and the email ID. Please don't change it till the end of the program goes, because you will be intimated electronically on your mobile phones and also through your email ID. So if there is any communication that the Navy has to give you, it will be through this mode, and please be active on it. For God's sake, don't change your mobile numbers and don't change your email ID, because all the information that will be given through the media. Right? Okay. After the medical examination is over, all successful candidates will have to await their turn and date for the commencement of the training at various training institutions of the armed forces. As far as the Navy is concerned, it is a naval academy. We have got a naval academy located in Kerala. The name of the place is called Edimala in Kannur district of Kerala. That is where the naval academy is located. You will be proceeding to the naval academy on the date given to you. Now this is as far as the Combined Defence Service Examination is concerned for graduates. And I told you the age for this will be 19 to 24 years. The other main criteria is you should be an unmarried male. Unmarried male and female within the age group of 19 to 24, and there is a minimum physical standard which mainly pertains to your height. It is 157 centimeters, approximately 5 feet 1 inch for male, and 153 centimeters for a female. The weight will be corresponding to your height. Approximately, you can say 42 kilos for a female and about 47 kilos for a male. Approximately. It will be as per your height. So these are the basic minimum criteria that is required for a man or a woman to join the Indian Navy. Now that is the Combined Defence Service Examination. Let us come to the next one. It is the National Defence Academy Naval Wing, and also the cadets who go into the Naval Academy. I just told you a little while ago, the Naval Academy is at Kannur in the state of Kerala. Now, this is an entry where the entry level qualification required is a 10 plus 2 in any recognized state board and also the CBSE, either the CBSE or a recognized state education board, from wherein you do a 10 plus 2. Finish your 10th standard, go into the 11th, 12th. Now, here the criteria is, in the 10 plus 2 scheme, that is for the NDA Navy and for the Naval Academy, a candidate has to finish off his plus 2 12th standard with 70% marks in the physics, chemistry, mathematics stream, PCM. He has to have an aggregate of 70% marks, and also 60% in English, either in the 10th standard exam or in the 12th. It is 70% in the science stream, that is physics, chemistry and maths. On an aggregate, you should be having 70%, and 60% in English, either in your 10th standard board or the 12th standard. That is the criteria to join. It is +2, and the age limit for this will be 16.5 to 19 years. Remember, it is a 10+2 scheme. You are not going in for your graduation. Even while in graduation in the first year or so, you can always, if you are interested in this, you can discontinue and apply for the NDA exam, NDA or the Naval Academy. The age criteria is same for both. That is the second level of entry. Apart from the CDS, now you have the NDA and Naval Academy, which is 10+2 of any recognized state board. The third type of entry is through the NCC, National Cadet Corps. I'm sure all of you are aware of NCC, National Cadet Corps, which is there in your schools and in your colleges. Now this will be a graduate entry. You should be the member of the Naval NCC Senior Wing, and you should be a C certificate holder. C certificate holders with about 60% marks in your graduation are eligible directly to the Services Selection Board. You don't have to undergo the written exam. By virtue of your training in the NCC and having achieved the C certificate holding from the senior wing of the Navy, you are exempted from your written exam and you straight away go into the Services Selection Board. Services Selection Board, whether it is for Combined Defence Service, the Naval Academy, NDA or the NCC wing, is the same, comprising of 5 long days divided into 2 stages. Stage 1 is for 1 day, stage 2 is for the next 4 days. That is how the entry is made. Now for the Naval Academy and NDA, you will have to appear for your JEE, Joint Entrance Examination, mains, and you will be selected on a All India ranking basis. That is how you are selected, All India ranking in the JEE. All of you will have to appear for that. That is how the Naval Academy cadets and the NDA cadets are taken in. Okay, now switching over to Hindi. उम्मीद है कि आप लोगों को जो बताया मैं इंग्लिश में वो समझ में आ गया होगा, और दोहराऊंगा मैं। 3 टाइप का एंट्री है यूपीएससी एग्जाम्स, सभी यूपीएससी एग्जाम्स है। पहले वाला है CDSE, कंबाइंड डिफेंस सर्विस, उसमें आपको ग्रेजुएट होना चाहिए। आपका जो एज लिमिट है, उम्र 19 से लेकर 24 साल तक है। आपको रिटन एग्जाम भरना होगा। रिटन एग्जाम में आप जैसे क्लियर हो जाएंगे, आपको बुलाया जाएगा SSB के लिए, सर्विसेज सिलेक्शन बोर्ड। सर्विसेज सिलेक्शन बोर्ड जो नेवी का है वो 5 सेंटर में लोकेटेड है। पूरे भारत में 5 सेंटर में लोकेटेड है। 3 है साउथ इंडिया में, एक बेंगलोर में है, कोयम्बटूर, विशाखापट्टनम इन द साउथ, भोपाल स्लाइटली इन द मिडिल नॉर्थ, एंड टू द ईस्ट कलकत्ता में, कोलकाता इन बंगाल। ये है 5 SSB सेंटर। आपको एसएसबी के लिए जाना होगा, आपको इंटीमेट किया जाएगा एसएसबी सेंटर कौन सा है आपका, वहां पहुंचना होगा आपको। 5 दिन का एसएसबी होता है, वो 2 स्टेज में डिवाइड किया जाता है। पहला स्टेज में 1 दिन का होता है वो पहला स्टेज, एंड जो अगला स्टेज है स्टेज 2 वो 4 दिन का होता है। दोनों मिला के 5 दिन। जो स्टेज 1 क्लियर करते हैं वो जाते हैं स्टेज 2 में, और स्टेज 1 जो क्लियर नहीं करते हैं उनको जाना पड़ेगा वापस। यू कैन ऑलवेज ट्राई, आप कोशिश कर सकते हैं अगली एसएसबी के लिए अगले साल। और जो सिलेक्ट हो जाते हैं एसएसबी उनके लिए अगला स्टेज है स्पेशल मेडिकल एग्जामिनेशन। पूरा आपका मेडिकल लिया जाएगा, और वो होता है मेडिकल होता है, कोई सिविल हॉस्पिटल में नहीं होता है, वो जो आपके नजदीक का जो मिलिट्री हॉस्पिटल है वहां पे होता है मेडिकल। जैसे आपका वो मेडिकल एग्जामिनेशन भी 3 से लेके 5 दिन तक हो सकता है। और जैसे आपका मेडिकल एग्जामिनेशन हो जाएगा, आपका जो ईमेल आईडी और जो मोबाइल नंबर्स आप फॉर्म में ऑनलाइन एप्लीकेशन में जो भरते हैं उसमें आपको मैसेज दिया जाएगा कि ट्रेनिंग सेंटर में कौन सी तारीख को रिपोर्ट करना है, राइट। यू विल बी गिवन दैट ऑप्शन ऑफ रिपोर्टिंग टू द ट्रेनिंग सेंटर्स। एंड एज फार एज द नेवी इज कंसर्न्ड, नेवल एकेडमी जो है आपका जहाँ ट्रेनिंग होता है वो नेवल एकेडमी होगा। नेवल एकेडमी केरला में लोकेटेड है, कन्नौर डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ केरला, एंड द एग्जैक्ट लोकेशन इज एडीमला, वेरी पिक्चरेस्क एंड सीनिक लोकेशन ऑन द सी शोर्स ऑफ द अरेबियन सी, कन्नौर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में। इट्स अ वेरी नाइस लोकेशन। द नेवी हैज अ वेरी गुड प्रॉपर्टी देयर and the largest naval academy in Asia. वहां पे आपका ट्रेनिंग होगा। The moment you finish your training, now training sessions are of different periods depending on the entry. The graduate entry has a less, graduate entry जो है CDS उसका कम ड्यूरेशन का होता है ट्रेनिंग, whereas the Naval Academy cadets and the NDA cadets who come out of NDA who are routed to the Navy will train in the Naval Academy at Kannur in Kerala. अच्छा जी, अगला जो एंट्री है वो एनसीसी का है। मैं अंग्रेजी में बता चुका हूं पहले ही। नेशनल कैडेट कॉर्प, एनसीसी नेशनल कैडेट कोर में जो सीनियर विंग में नेवल विंग में होते हैं, जो सी सर्टिफिकेट होल्डर्स है, उनके लिए रिटन एग्जाम माफ है। यू आर एग्जाम्प्टेड रिटन एग्जाम, यू कैन स्ट्रेट अवे गो फॉर द सर्विसेज सिलेक्शन बोर्ड। दैट इज बाय द वर्च्यू, आप क्योंकि समय गुजारा है एनसीसी में, ट्रेनिंग वगैरह होता है वहां पे, रिपब्लिक डे परेड होता है, एंड इफ यू आर लकी इनफ टू हैव अटेंडेड, आपका जो रेटिंग है वो बढ़ जाता है। यू विल बी गिवन योर सी सर्टिफिकेट एट द एंड ऑफ योर एनसीसी टेन्योर। सबको मिलता नहीं है। जो भी सी सर्टिफिकेट होल्डर्स है, आपको ये रिटन एग्जाम जो है वो माफ है। आप सीधे जा सकते हैं सर्विसेज सिलेक्शन बोर्ड के लिए। देयर आफ्टर मेडिकल्स एंड देन इनटू द, इफ यू आर सेलेक्टेड फॉर दैट, यू गो इन फॉर द ट्रेनिंग। अगला जो एंट्री है, now we have gone through CDS, you have gone through NDA, you have gone through Naval Academy, and you have gone through NCC. The next one is for graduates again. It is called as the Indian Navy Entrance Test, INET. Okay, this is for graduates. The age limit will be 20 to 24, 20 से लेके 24 साल तक उसका जो एज लिमिट है। और ये जो एंट्री में अभी जो मैं बताया, उसके लिए फिजिकल क्राइटेरिया भी है। आपका हाइट होना चाहिए 157 सेंटीमीटर्स मर्द फॉर मेल एंड 153 सेंटीमीटर्स फॉर फीमेल। 157 for male, 157 centimeters for male, and 153 centimeters for a female. Now, females are only for the graduate entry. A lady cannot enter into Naval Academy or the National Defence Academy. For the females, it is only the graduate entry that is available. Okay. Corresponding weight as per your height. So approximately I will tell you, it will be about 47 kilos of weight for a male and about 42 to 43 kilos for a female. So if you fall in that criteria, well, go ahead, do it. Or फिर भी when you apply, it will take about 3 to 4 months. Even if you are underweight, you have got the time period of 3 to 4 months to increase your weight, and you know how to do it, right? Because this is the basic minimum criteria that I told you. वहाँ जाने के बाद, when you go to the Services Selection Board and for the medical examination where your height is checked, you should never be below 157 for a male with about 47 kilo weight and 153 centimeters for a female with about 42 kilos of weight. You should never be below that. So ensure that you are within the physical criteria, right? You should also be physically very, very sound. मतलब थोड़ा बहुत दौड़ना, भागना, all these things you should be having strength and stamina, both. A fairly good strength and stamina, I suppose, because you will be required to do a lot of physical activity while in the training academy, right? You're joining the prestigious armed forces, the Navy, wherein you will be required to do a lot of physical activities, and for that, आप physically able होना चाहिए, right? So these are the physical criteria. Now, as I told you about the Indian Navy entrance test. Now this is purely for graduates. Age limit is 20 to 24. Now there are various wings in this. Mainly it is the BE or BTech graduates who form to appear for the examination. You have an entrance test for this. Indian Navy entrance exam is there. You can go through. Now the main thing is, for all these procedures that I am telling you right now, you need to have a golden mantra, that is the website of the Indian Navy. It is joinindiannavy.gov.in www.joinindiannavy.gov.in. All the procedures are detailed in it. जो भी आपको चाहिए वो इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल जाएगा वेबसाइट से. इंडियन नेवी का जो वेबसाइट है उसमें आप देखिए. बिकॉज आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू आउटलाइन नाउ. देयर कुड बी माइनर चेंजेस. थोड़ा बहुत बदलाव हो सकता है उसमें. तो लेटेस्ट जो है आपको मिलेगा इंडियन नेवी का जो वेबसाइट में. इफ देयर आर स्मॉल करेक्शंस टू व्हाट आई टोल्ड यू, लेटेस्ट आप जब अप्लाई करेंगे आपको ज़रूरी देखना होगा ये वेबसाइट. उसके हिसाब से आपको एप्लीकेशन भरना होगा. Indian Navy entrance test is for graduates, I told you. There are various entries. I'll just name a few entries of the Indian Navy. इससे पहले I will also tell you something about the Navy. Indian Navy is a three-dimensional force. We operate on the surface of the sea. We operate above the surface in the sky, that is through our naval aircrafts, naval helicopters. We have got a naval aviation wing, and also below the ocean, below the surface of the sea, below the ocean, where our submarines operate. So we operate on the surface, above the surface, and also below the surface, right? On the surface, we have got a surface warships. Above the surface, we operate through our aircraft, helicopters, we have got fighter aircrafts, we have got fixed wing recce aircraft, reconnaissance, and also helicopters of various types. So Indian Navy is a three-dimensional force, right? So when I come, you will be surprised when I talk about pilots and observers. Now you'll be wondering what a pilot will do in the Navy. That is why I told you that Indian Navy is a three-dimensional force, and where we operate on the surface of the sea, above the surface, in the sky, and below the surface, underwater, through our submarines, right? So let us come to the various entries that is available to you. Let us begin with pilots, that is the Naval Aviation Wing. Now for the pilots, you can enter through your, after qualifying your BE BTech, the pilot entry, one of the most prestigious entries of the Navy, for which your written exam, you need to clear your written exam, you need to clear your graduation with 70% marks in the science stream, in the physics, chemistry and maths. You have to clear it in 70% and also score 60% and above in English, right? That is for the entire Indian Navy entrance. Now I am just giving you what are the various types of job profiles you will have in the Navy. So we started with the pilot. We have fighter pilots. We have MR, maritime reconnaissance. It means then complete marine area, the coastline, beyond the coastline, where a recce is held. Reconnaissance, ढूंढना, search, right? To put it in plain language, दुश्मन को ढूंढना पड़ता है समुद्र में, उसके लिए आप इस्तेमाल करते हैं maritime reconnaissance aircraft of various sizes. We have small recce aircraft, we have medium and we have large, right? So we need pilots for that. We have a fighter wing that operates from the naval aircraft carrier. As of now, we have a naval aircraft carrier called as INS Vikramaditya, a huge aircraft carrier, from where various types of aircraft operate. When I say aircraft carrier, I mean a large platform with a runway, a movable runway. That is what is an aircraft carrier called. You can move this. It is a warship, very large warship, consisting of a runway, which is called as a flight deck. And we have different types of aircraft on an aircraft carrier. It ranges from a fighter aircraft. We have helicopters, different types of helicopters. Our own made in India light combat aircraft, the Tejas LCA, is also coming in. The trials are over from the aircraft carrier. They have approved. The trials are successful for the LCA. We'll be having our own aircraft on our own aircraft carriers shortly. There's another second aircraft carrier coming up in Cochin. It is in the manufacturing stage. It is almost getting completed. We might have, that is called as the INS Vikrant. We already had an old Vikrant with us, which has been decommissioned, which was a superhero of the 1971 war. That aircraft carrier has already been decommissioned. So is INS Virat. We had the second aircraft carrier that is also decommissioned. The third aircraft carrier that we hold now is INS Vikramaditya, which is presently in service. So that is the naval aviation that I just talked to you about, pilots. Right? Now, next entry is the observers. This is also a naval aviation wing. Observers are navigators and also the officers who operate sensors on board an aircraft. I was just telling you about maritime reconnaissance aircraft, जो हवाई जहाज इस्तेमाल करते हैं हम दुश्मन को ढूंढने के लिए. through sensors, right? We don't go to the surface of the sea and identify our enemy. Enemy is identified with the help of electronic sensors, other electronic equipments, and the people who operate this, they are called as the observers, right? Now pilots and observers form the naval aviation wing. Okay, now for this I told you the age group is 20 to 24. The height criteria, the weight criteria remains the same for all. Only thing, when you clear your written exams, the pilots and observers go for their services selection board to Bangalore. Okay, that is the difference. For them, for the pilots and observers, the services selection board is located only at Bangalore. For all other entries, you can have it in Bangalore, you can have it in Visakhapatnam, you can have it in Coimbatore, you can have it in Bhopal, also in Kolkata, which is in Bengal. Right? Only for these pilots and observers, you have the SSB at Bangalore, because there are connected tests and examinations that they have to be put into through the Air Force, through the Aviation Medicine Center that is located at Bangalore. They have to undergo their PABT, and there are various other tests that they are put into. To facilitate that, they are called for the Services Selection Board at Bangalore. That is why it is at Bangalore. Now, there is another field related to the naval aviation officer entry, which is supporting the pilots and observers in their missions. That is called as the air traffic controllers. Now, the air traffic controllers are people who do their job from the control towers of an airfield, of an airport, or in the aircraft carrier. I told you what an aircraft carrier is just now, known as Vikramaditya. We have a similar tower setup in the ship, from where the pilots and observers, they are given the communication between the ship and the operating aircrafts happen through the control tower, where you need air traffic controllers. Now this is again a science stream entry, graduate entry. Now this, you can have an option for females also. Lady officers and male officers can get into the air traffic controllers, as well as observers and pilots too. Except for the fighter pilots, you have lady officers qualifying as pilots for the maritime recce aircraft. Except for fighter pilots and helicopter pilots, ladies are having the privilege of becoming a maritime reconnaissance aircraft pilot and an observer. Observer entries and the maritime recce pilots, females are allowed. Female entry is available there, but you should be a graduate in the science stream, having qualified the graduation with 70% marks in physics, chemistry and maths, and a 60% in English. That is at the 12th board. तो अभी जो मैं बता रहा था, इंडियन नेवी एंट्रेंस टेस्ट, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट कैटेगरी. उसमें आपको एंट्री लेवल में आपका जो एंट्री लेवल में है वो दैट इज ग्रेजुएशन में फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, मैथ्स में आपको 70% मार्क्स से पास होना होगा, एंड इंग्लिश में 60% मार्क होना चाहिए आपका, तभी आप उसके लिए क्वालिफाई कर सकते हैं. आपके लिए रिटन एग्जाम होगा फॉर इंडियन नेवी एंट्रेंस टेस्ट. जैसे आप रिटन क्वालिफाई कर देंगे, देन यू गो इन फॉर योर सर्विसेज सिलेक्शन बोर्ड. For all officer entry in the Navy, Services Selection Board is a must, which forms the second. One is the written exam. There are some exempted categories from written exam. जैसे मैंने बताया, NCC वालों को written exam की ज़रूरत नहीं है, उनके लिए written माफ है. पर SSB के लिए जाना होगा, एंड उसके बाद जो स्पेशल मेडिकल एग्जामिनेशन होता है उसमें भी उनको भाग लेना होता है. you have to pass your medical examination. तो INET के बारे में बता रहा था मैं, उसमें एंट्रीज है पायलट्स, ऑब्जर्वर्स एंड एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोलर्स. अभी आप सोच रहे होंगे कि ये पायलट नेवी में क्या करेगा. नौसेना में ऐसे पोत है जिसको एयरक्राफ्ट कैरियर बुलाया जाता है. उस पोत से, जहाज से आप एयरक्राफ्ट ऑपरेट कर सकते हैं, हवाई जहाज ऑपरेट कर सकते हैं. नौसेना का जो जहाज है उसमें बहुत बड़ा जहाज होता है, उसमें एक रनवे भी होता है जिसको फ्लाइट डेक कहा जाता है. वहाँ से टेक ऑफ होते हैं, वहाँ लैंड होता है. ऑल नेवल ऑपरेशंस, एविएशन ऑपरेशंस आर टेकिंग प्लेस फ्रॉम द एयरक्राफ्ट कैरियर, जिनके लिए पायलट को ट्रेनिंग दिया जाता है ग्राउंड पे. देयर आर नेवल एयर स्टेशंस, लॉट्स ऑफ नेवल एयर स्टेशंस आर देयर अराउंड द कंट्री, जहाँ पे ट्रेनिंग दिया जाता है पायलट्स को. उसके बाद वो जाते हैं जहाज पे ऑपरेट करने के लिए. देन, तो जैसे मैं बता रहा था, उसमें पायलट्स होते हैं, ऑब्जर्वर्स. नेक्स्ट इज ऑब्जर्वर्स. ऑब्जर्वर्स आर नॉट द पीपल हु फ्लाई द एयरक्राफ्ट. वो जहाज उड़ाते नहीं है, बल्कि जो एयरक्राफ्ट में सेंसर्स वगैरह होता है, रेडार, सोनार, बहुत सा सिस्टम होता है सेंसर्स, जो सेंसर्स को ऑपरेट करते हैं, दे आर द ऑब्जर्वर्स. ऑब्जर्वर्स का ड्यूटी है सेंसर्स को ऑपरेट करना, ढूंढना, एंड टू डिस्ट्रॉय एनिमी शिप और अ सबमरीन. वो उनका काम होता है, ऑब्जर्वर्स. अभी जो पायलट्स, जो MR एयरक्राफ्ट होता है नेवी का, हवाई जहाज जो MR, मैरीटाइम रिकॉग्नाइजेंस बोलते हैं, मल्टी इंजन, उसमें मेल एंड फीमेल बोथ आर एंटाइटल्ड. मेल और फीमेल एंट्री अलाउड है उसमें. ऑब्जर्वर्स में भी मेल एंड फीमेल एंट्री अलाउड है. सिर्फ फाइटर पायलट्स और हेलीकॉप्टर पायलट्स में फीमेल अलाउड नहीं है. इट इज ओनली फॉर मेल. देयर आर रीजंस फॉर इट, बट एनीवे Air Force has gone ahead with women fighter pilots. Very shortly I think Navy will also be having it. भारतीय वायुसेना में फीमेल पायलट्स, फाइटर पायलट्स होते हैं, शुरू किया उन्होंने. हो सकता है भारतीय नौसेना में भी हो जाए, उम्मीद है हो जाएगा. इट विल टेक टाइम बट इट विल हैपन डेफिनेटली. नाउ एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोलर्स आर द पीपल. एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोलर्स जो है, उनका काम है एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोल टावर से ऑपरेट करना. पायलट्स को जो भी कम्युनिकेशन करना है पायलट्स के साथ, जो हवाई जहाज उड़ता है, उनका जो पायलट्स एंड ऑब्जर्वर्स के साथ जो मिशन के बारे में जो इंफॉर्मेशन देना होता है, वो देते हैं एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोलर्स अपने अपने टावर से. हवाई जो जहाज से ऑपरेट होता है, जहाज के ऊपर भी एक कंट्रोल टावर है. वहां से आपका एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोलर्स पायलट्स के साथ कम्युनिकेशन करते रहते हैं. जो भी उनको बताना होता है वो बताते हैं. वो है एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोलर्स. नाउ दीज आर द 3 लेवल ऑफ नेवल एविएशन ऑफिसर्स अवेलेबल इन द INET कैटेगरी. ये तीनों है. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस, जहाज चलाने के लिए यू नीड अदर एंट्रीज ऑफ ऑफिसर्स लाइक द जनरल सर्विस एग्जीक्यूटिव ब्रांच, जो हवाई जहाज को चलाते हैं, चलाना भी पड़ता है, तो उसके लिए जो ऑफिसर्स है, दे आर द एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑफिसर्स, द एलीट पीपल ऑन अ शिप. Executive branch, you got the communication officers for the communication branch. You have the gunnery officers who handle the weapons. You have the anti-submarine warfare officers, ASW officers, who handle the anti-submarine operations. बहुत सारा एंट्री है ऑफिसर्स में, बहुत सारा एंट्री है that we require. Another main criteria which the Navy requires is the logistics branch. लॉजिस्टिक ब्रांच जो है बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है, बिकॉज दे आर द पीपल हु कैटर टू आवर फूड सप्लाईज, जो भी आपको चाहिए सप्लाईज, ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर टेकन केयर ऑफ बाय द लॉजिस्टिक ब्रांच. और बिना खाना तो आप सर्वाइव नहीं कर सकते हैं, तो दैट इज वाई वी कॉल देम एज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट ब्रांच, बिकॉज दे कीप फीडिंग अस, राइट. लॉजिस्टिक ब्रांच आर द पीपल हु गेट इन फूड सप्लाईज, rations, your clothing, uniforms, spare parts of the ship, of the aircraft, of the submarines. All these are handled and managed by the logistics branch. So we have officers for that also. But again, for that, it is the criteria remains same. The age and the criteria remain same. The educational qualifications in this category can be of graduates also for the logistics branch. Graduates in accounting, commerce, graduates in science, it could be a BE BTech, because after you complete your naval orientation training, you are put through professional training through our naval training establishments. लॉजिस्टिक्स के लिए अलग सेंटर होता है, इंजीनियरिंग के लिए अलग सेंटर होता है, इलेक्ट्रिकल के लिए अलग सेंटर होता है ट्रेनिंग के लिए. आपको पूरा ट्रेनिंग दिया जाएगा उसमें, राइट. नाउ यू आर पुट थ्रू वेरियस ट्रेनिंग सेंटर्स ऑफ द नेवी, and that is how you specialize in each branch. पायलट्स के लिए स्पेशलाइजेशन है, ऑब्जर्वर्स के लिए स्पेशलाइजेशन है, एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोलर्स के लिए स्पेशलाइजेशन होता है. एंड योर एग्जीक्यूटिव ब्रांच, बी इट गनरी ब्रांच, बी इट द ASW ब्रांच, बी इट द कम्युनिकेशन ब्रांच, all be it the logistics. Another wing of officers is called as the education officers, right? Education officers are basically people, are graduates who must have done their B.Ed, Bachelor of Education also, because their basic job is to teach the trainees. अभी ये जो भी नेवल एकेडमी में वगैरह जाते हैं उधर एजुकेशन, यू अगेन गो थ्रू द एकेडमिक सब्जेक्ट्स इन द नेवल एकेडमी एज अ पार्ट ऑफ योर ट्रेनिंग. यू विल बी अगेन taught physics, you will be again taught chemistry, maths, English. For this we need education officers. Education officers also double up as meteorological officers. Meteorological officers, they are the people who keep forecasting your weather. Weather is a very important criteria for the Navy, for the naval aviation, for the submarine arm, for the surface arm. We need up-to-date weather forecast. Now they are the people, the Met officers are the people who give us the current forecast on each day, each hour, so that you come to know what you're going to go through. When a ship is sailing, when an aircraft is flying, when a submarine is sailing underwater, we all need latest updates on the weather. कैसा weather होने जा रहा है? Are we going to go through rough weather? You have to prepare for it. Or is the weather going to be calm? All these things are forecast by the Met officers, meteorological department. वो हमको forecast देते हैं. As per that we go about. So these are the various wings available as officers. We also have relatively a quite new entry called as officers IT, information technology. Very important, बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है आजकल, because you must have heard of something called as cyber warfare, right? Now cyber warfare is emerging as another arm of fighting, right? You must have heard a lot of websites are being hacked. Defense websites are no different. They are also to be hacked. People will hack them. Enemies will hack them for information. And now you need a quite robust information technology department to deter all this, so that you stop people from getting into your secret websites, right? And we also need information from the enemy. We need to hack their websites also, because that is how it goes. So there is a specialist department called as the information technology, which is one of the mainstream departments of the Navy nowadays. So there are officers IT also. Now it could be a BE BTech graduate who has passed with 70% marks in his graduation, who will be going through this cadre, right? So he will be the master of computers. It could be BTech computers, it could be BTech IT, BTech software for that matter. So all these things are, they take care of the IT wing of the Indian Navy, who protect our cyber activities and all that, and who also try getting into the enemy's cyber. Now, we are a big force with a lot of ships, a lot of aircrafts, a lot of submarines. We need people who can build all these vessels. They call it the naval architects. So naval architecture engineers, BTech who qualify naval architecture, can get into the architecture wing. They are mainly located in naval dockyards and shipyards around the country, where you have naval architects. Now I'll tell you, for example, we have the 4th aircraft carrier INS Vikrant, which is just nearing completion in Cochin shipyard, likely to join the Indian Navy within 2 years or so. There are a lot of naval architects who are employed there, who are working there to get the design proper, to get the requirement of the Navy updated onto the ship. These are people who come in with a degree of BTech specializing in naval architecture. Right? They could be mechanical people, they could be electrical people, but they are known as naval architects, and their job is to ensure that a ship that is being produced in the country or purchased from outside meet the required criteria that the Navy asks for. So it is being assessed by these naval architect officers. There is also another wing of officers called as the Naval Armament Inspectorate. Navy is a fighting force. To fight, we need armament, weapons, and all the weapons that are made in the country or purchased from outside are put through rigorous test, examination, and these are conducted by the officers who work with the Naval Armament Inspectorate, NAI. Right? The entry-level qualification for them is also same. That is BTech, 70% marks, 60% in English. It is 70% aggregate, okay, of all 3 subjects. It is not that physics, chemistry and maths separately you need 70%. It is an aggregate of 70% in all the 3 and 60% individually in English. So these are the criteria of officers that the Indian Navy requires. Now one main thing, I just outlined the procedures and the different, just introducing you to the Navy of what are the entries like for officer level. Right? You have to always remember that golden mantra that I just told you a little while ago. www.joinindiannavy.gov.in. That is a mantra that you have to, you can note it down, you can keep it. For any information on selection procedures, recruitment procedures to the Indian Navy, you can go through the website. It's a detailed website and it gives you a clear picture of how to go about joining Navy. By all means, all those who are watching my program can put in your comments in the comment box, to which I shall reply at the end of this program. I shall reply to each one of you so that you're clear about it. Further, if there are any doubts, please log on to Shashi Dream Foundation, put in your doubts, we shall clear it for you. Okay. Now these are, all the while I was speaking about the officer entry. There is another entry in the Indian Navy that is called as the sailor entry. Now sailor entry is purely for men. No females are yet allowed into the sailor entry. It is purely for men, unmarried men. And the physical criteria is that you should be of 157 centimeters height and about 46 to 47 kilos of weight. That depends. Depends again on your age, and there are various height formations that are given. Corresponding to that should be your weight. Now I am just telling you the basic criteria. The bare minimum that is required is 157 centimeters with a weight of around 46 to 47 kilos as per your age. Now there are various entries in the sailor category also. ये जो sailor category है, आपको मैं बता रहा था, ऑफिसर एंट्री तो खत्म हो गया. नाउ वी कम टू द सेलर एंट्री. सेलर जो एंट्री है उसमें भी कई विभाग है. उसका जो एज ग्रुप है, वेरिंग डिपेंडिंग ऑन वेरियस एंट्रीज, इट बिगिंस फ्रॉम 16.5 एंड इट गोज अप टू 20. 16.5 साल से लेके 20 साल तक एंट्रीज होते हैं सेलर कैटेगरी में. अभी हम देखते हैं क्या क्या एंट्री है सेलर कैटेगरी में. पहला जो एंट्री है दैट इज कॉल्ड एज आर्टिफिसर अप्रेंटिसेस. आर्टिफिसर अप्रेंटिसेस ए बोलते हैं शॉर्ट में. ये जो एंट्री होता है इसके लिए एजुकेशनल क्वालिफिकेशन है 10+2 of CBSE or any recognized state board. 10+2 12वीं पास होना चाहिए आपको with 60% marks in science stream. फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री मैथ्स में एग्रीगेट आपका होना चाहिए 60%. That is the criteria for artificer apprentice, because basically this is a technical branch. ये जो आर्टिफिशियल अप्रेंटिस रिक्रूट होते हैं ये हमारे टेक्निकल स्किल्ड हैंड्स होते हैं. दे आर प्योरली फॉर टेक्निकल एंट्रीज इन द इंडियन नेवी. इसका जो उम्र होता है दैट इज 16.5 to 19 years. आर्टिफिशियल अप्रेंटिसेस द एज ग्रुप दैट इज अलाउड इज 16.5, 16.5 से लेके 19 साल तक. दैट इज द एज ग्रुप. Height 157 centimeters, weight 46 kilograms. Okay, this is for artificer apprentice, only for men, only for male. Right? You have to go through a written exam, online applications, wherein you will have to prescribe and say what is the percentage of marks that you have achieved in 10+2 exam. Based on that, you will be called in for selection. Kindly given a proper email ID, your mobile number, and please don't change them, because you will be intimated on those email IDs and your mobile phone numbers. Please don't change them till the process is completely over. Right? Now here, there is when you get selected, after the written exam is over and you get selected, you will be called in for your physical fitness test. It is called as a PFT, physical fitness test. Now, as I said earlier during the officer entry, definitely there is a physical standard for the sailors also, that is the height. Now, if you are below 157 centimeters, please don't go in, or else you will be rejected. There is no point going in. You have to ensure that you are 157 centimeters or more in height. Corresponding weight is okay, 46 kilos of weight, and your medical standards should be A1. Now all that will be tested in the nearest military hospital. Now there is something that I want to tell you during the PFT, physical fitness test. See, this is a simple test. It may not be simple for all. I will tell you the criteria. You have to be physically sound. There are 3 varieties that goes into the PFT. Excuse me. You have to have the strength and stamina to run 1.6 kilometers in 7 minutes. Okay, 1.6 kilometers in 7 minutes. Possible, I can do it now. So definitely young people like you should be able to do it. You should. It is a compulsion, you should do it. Otherwise, you will not get through the PFT. It's only 1.6 kilometers, 1600 meters in 7 minutes. PFT जो होता है फिजिकल फिटनेस टेस्ट, उसमें आपको पहले दिया जाएगा 1.6 किलोमीटर्स, 1600 मीटर आपको भागना है 7 मिनट के अंदर. 7 मिनट के अंदर 1600 मीटर भागना है बस. फिलहाल मैं भी कर सकता हूँ अभी, आपका तो होना ही चाहिए, यंग पीपल, सो यू शुड बी. इफ यू आर नॉट, टेस्ट इट आउट बिफोर यू अप्लाई एंड गो इन फॉर योर physical fitness test and all that. You have ample time to increase your strength and stamina. Daily get up in the morning early, go for a run, check your timings, you can do it. I can still do it, so definitely आप भी कर सकते हैं. दूसरा होता है 20 sit-ups, उतक बैठक. Okay, from the standing procedure, you fold your knees, you come down, raise your knees, you go up. ये सिटअप्स आपको करना है 20 नंबर, 20 सिटअप्स. Quite common, anyone can do it. Anyone at your age can do it, right? If not, practice it. You have time, practice it. I'm just giving you the criteria so that you're above it. हो सकता है आप 1.6 किलोमीटर 4 मिनट में भागे. That is good, very good. Same way, you can do about 30 to 40 to 50 utak baitaks, sit-ups आप कर सकते हैं. 20 मिनिमम करना ही चाहिए. 20 के नीचे अगर होगा आप आउट हो जाएंगे, फिजिकल फिटनेस टेस्ट से बाहर हो जाएंगे आप. ठीक है. थर्ड थिंग इज यू नीड टू डू 10 पुशअप्स. पुशअप्स दंड जिसको कहते हैं, यू हैव टू डू 10 पुशअप्स मिनिमम. इफ इट इज मोर, इट इज फाइन, राइट? So these are the 3 criteria that forms a part of physical fitness test, right? Very simple, not much. You can always practice it and get through. Just requires about a week's practice, and all of you, I'm sure, will get through the criteria. Now, after the physical function test is over, you will be put in through for your medicals. See, medical is a part and parcel of any armed forces entry. You need to be thoroughly checked for your medicals, and you can do it only through a military hospital. Your nearest military hospital, आपका जो नज़दीक मिलिट्री हॉस्पिटल होता है, वहाँ पे आपका मेडिकल टेस्ट होता है. You will be intimated all this. Where is your medical going to be held? Where is your physical fitness test going to be held? All these things will be intimated to you electronically, that is on your mobile phones or through your email IDs. So please, for God's sake, don't change it. बदलना मत अब उसको. ईमेल आईडी जो दिया जाता है, स्टिक टू इट, उसको बदलना नहीं है. सेम वे आपका मोबाइल नंबर जो है, राइट? So these are the things that you have to remember. Now we have come to the sailor entry, artificer apprentice. मैं बताया हूँ, it is purely for a technical entry. You will be trained by the Navy. You will be trained for 4 years by the Indian Navy. At the end of 4 years, Cochin University of Science and Technology will give you a diploma certificate for this on completion of your successful training, right? After that, you will be posted into various naval establishments, naval ships for training, on-job training, I mean. Okay, so that is the artificer apprentice. A जिसको कहते हैं, इसका जो उम्र है 16.5 से लेके 19 साल. Next entry in the sailor category is called as SSR, Senior Secondary Recruit, Senior Secondary Recruits. Okay. एजुकेशनल क्वालिफिकेशंस, जैसे वो SSR में बोला जाता है, सेकेंडरी, दैट इज द हायर सेकेंडरी और द 10+2. 12वीं कक्षा पास होना चाहिए आपको. यू शुड हैव पास्ड योर 10+2 एग्जाम इन द साइंस स्ट्रीम, in the science stream, PCM में, but there is no mark criteria. You can bare minimum, you can pass, right? But again, I'm telling you, don't lay it as a claim saying that I have passed my secondary. Why am I not being called for this, right? If the vacancies are less, and if there are people who have scored 60%, 50%, 55%, 59%, definitely they'll be called ahead of the bare minimum passing mark, right? So don't lay it as a claim. You have to mention all these things before when you send it in the application. When you send in your application to the Navy, Navy will call you as per their criteria. There is no bias here. There are no agents. You cannot go through somebody. You cannot go for a recommendation. It just doesn't happen. Right? ये प्योरली मेरिट पे होता है. आपका जो मार्क्स है, they will speak for themselves. Right? That is how it is. Now, SSR just pass. You have to go through the same PFT जो मैं अभी पहले बताया था. PFT, that is 1.6 kilometers running in 7 minutes. आपको दौड़ना है 1600 मीटर 7 मिनट के अंदर. 20 उतक बैठक, sit-ups, 20 sit-ups and 10 push-ups. Sorry. These are the physical fitness test criteria. Thereafter, you will be put in through the medical. On successful completion of your medical examination, you will be intimated the date to join your training academy. फिलहाल नेवी का ट्रेनिंग एकेडमी जो है, that is in Orissa. It is close to Bhubaneswar in Orissa. It is called as the INS Chilka. Now, any establishment or ship in the Navy will be prefixed with INS. That is the Indian Naval Ship. Right? So, the name of that particular establishment is INS Chilka, which is located in Orissa. That is where the basic training for the Navy happens. After the basic training, all these recruits were selected, the trainees who are finishing off successfully their basic training, are put in for their technical training and professional training. Some go into the technical branch, some go into the non-technical branch of the Navy, but every branch has got its own training institution wherein you will go in for your professional training. That is later. Right? So similarly, in the SSR category, we have, as I told you, for the officers, various officers, the same thing applies to sailors also. You can go into the Naval Aviation branch, you can go into the engineering branch, you can go into the electrical branch, you can go into the communication branch, you can go into the logistics branch, you can go into the physical training branch. Also, we have a physical training branch also because the physical training instructors form a part of that branch. You could go into that also with some basic sports qualifications of having represented your state in the junior nationals and all that, having represented your school in the national championships, school championships, or your state junior wing in the national championships. You are eligible to go to the sports department too. Right? There are various entries, but the basic minimum qualification remains same. You have to be in the 10+2 pass. Just pass. Okay? But again, as I said, don't lay a claim saying that I have passed my 10+2. Why didn't I be called for the PFT? Right? Merit पे दिया जाता है vacancy के हिसाब से. Right? Okay. The next, these are the various branches of the Navy, wherein you will be selected at the end of your basic training. There is an aptitude test that happens after your basic training of 6 months, wherein you will be put through aptitude, and merit के हिसाब से you will be given Naval Aviation branch, you will be given the engineering branch, you will be given the electrical branch, you will be given the seaman branch, communication branch, logistics. All these things are segregated from your basic training center. Depending on your aptitude, they give you those branches, wherein after that you go in for your professional training. अभी sailor category में एक और entry है, that is the matriculation entry. Matriculation is 10th standard, metric pass. Okay, you have to pass your 10th standard examination, right? Wherein you can qualify for a sailor entry. Pass होना चाहिए. Now, in this, the branches that are allotted are as follows. Now, you can join the Indian Navy. I told you earlier itself when I talked about logistic officers. All of us serve on ships, serve on establishments. खाना तो हमको चाहिए ही, ज़रूरी है जीने के लिए. The metric recruits form the branches of catering, right? शेफ जो होते हैं, खाना जो बनाते हैं, पकाते हैं, एंड that is given to you. We need a branch for that. It is a catering branch that looks after all your khana, right? And if you don't get your khana in time, then absolutely there is no purpose. Okay, वो पूरा दिन जाएगा. Without food, you are losing out your whole day, right? Now that is the catering branch. Now all the catering branch people are from the metric pass entry, right? They go into the catering branch. Now there is another branch called as a steward. Now stewards are people who work in officers' mess to serve food to them. There are so many other activities. They have to take care of the rations, incoming ration, how much is being given to the daily catering department to cook, what is the balance. There are a lot of management procedures involved there also because you are dealing with supplies, food supplies of course, but उसका भी हिसाब रखना पड़ता है. उसके लिए होते हैं ये stewards. Those are people who serve food, who manage all these food, who manage parties happening in the mess. All these things have to be taken care of by the stewards. There is another entry called as sanitary hygienist. Sanitary hygienist. Now, sanitation is a very important aspect in the Indian Navy, especially when you are on a ship. सफाई तो बहुत ज़रूरी है on a ship. Otherwise, if something wrong goes, the entire ship, the manpower in the entire ship will be infected. Safai is top notch, and the sanitary hygienist ensure that everything is kept spick and span on a ship or in the base, in the establishment also, right? That is why you require that department. Sanitary is given very, very top importance in the Indian Navy because the ship has to be always clean. In ship shape, we call it ship shape in the Navy. Ship shape means fighting fit. It is a fighting ship. It is not a merchant Navy ship. It's not a cargo ship. It's not a tanker. It is a warship. And warships have to be spick and span. Always ready. It is not only the external paint. We are talking about the interior things. People live in enclosed compartments. Hygiene is top priority there. For that, the sanitary hygienist. Now, the chef, the steward, and the sanitary hygienist form part of the metric entry group. They have to be metric pass, 10th standard pass for that matter. All other physical criteria applies the same. 157 centimeters of height, corresponding weight which is about 46 to 47 kilograms. Even they have to, these metric entry people also have to go through the PFT. Same thing, 1.6 kilometers in 7 minutes. 7 मिनट के अंदर आपको भागना है 1600 मीटर. And you have to do 20 utak baitak sit-ups and 10 push-ups. Bare minimum standard. Anybody can do it. With a little bit of practice, you can get to that level. They also have to undergo the medical examination, after which they will be also called for basic training at INS Chilka, which is in Orissa. Basic training establishment of the Indian Navy is INS Chilka in Orissa. That is where everybody is, all the sailor category is put into basic training. Officers category into Naval Academy in Kannur, Kerala, and sailor entry goes into INS Chilka, which is in Orissa. There is another entry in the sailor category called as musicians. Now the musician entry, it is not that they play music to you daily. You must have come across a naval band. If you have watched the Republic Day parade, which happens on the 26th of January every year at Delhi, there is a Republic Day parade that happens. You will find the bands of various armed forces wings, the paramilitary wings, right? In that you must have seen the gleaming white band that the Navy plays in the Republic Day. So we need musicians to get into the band entry, and for other activities of music. Now for this you have to have some music potential, some acumen in music. आपको अगर if you can play one or two instruments, musical instruments, okay, that is added advantage. प्लस यू हैव टू बी अ मैट्रिक, 10th पास होना ही चाहिए आपको एजुकेशनल क्वालिफिकेशन में. आपको अगर म्यूजिकल एप्टीट्यूड है, गिटार, ड्रम्स एंड सो मेनी अदर instruments, musical instruments, if you can play one or two of them, you can apply for the musician branch, right, which is also part of the Navy. Now these are the sailor categories that I've just told you. Let me remind you again, it has been about 1 घंटे से ज़्यादा हो गया है प्रोग्राम. इसमें पूरा तो नहीं बता नहीं सकता हूँ, because I am just giving you the outline. You need to remember that golden mantra that I told you earlier, www.joinindiannavy.gov.in. That is where you get all the details of selection procedures to the Indian Navy. Right? Go through that, because there will be timely changes can happen. So the latest will be known to you only when you go. आप जब वेबसाइट देखेंगे उसी से आपको लेटेस्ट जो पता है वो मिलेगा आपको. That will be given in the website. Websites are always updated to the latest standards, right? उम्मीद है कि I must have put through at least some knowledge into you regarding the Indian Navy. We will keep appearing again. इसका रिपीट प्रोग्राम हो सकता है 2 या 3 हफ्ते के बाद फिर होगा, तब मैं और आऊँगा. आई विल गिव यू मोर आइडियाज. बाय देन यू आर ऑल्सो बी अवेयर. आपको जो भी सवाल पूछना है कमेंट बॉक्स में डालिए आप. I'll be concluding the program, then attending to your comments. Okay, so thank you very much for having heard me patiently. Let me also thank Shashi Dream Foundation, especially Mr. Harshal Doke, who gave me a chance to be a part of their NGO to explain to all the viewers on what a career in Indian Navy looks like. Right? So thank you very much, and have a good day. Have a safe day. Have a good day. Thank you. Now let us come into the comments. Okay, the first one, yeah, it is popping up. I'll reply to your comments. The first thing comes from Anu Priya. Good afternoon, Anu. Are there any coaching centers for naval aspirants? See, no, as far as I know of, there are no coaching centers for naval aspirants. But see, the thing is, there are a few coaching centers for Services Selection Board. In case you need to go into the officer entry, where the SSB I told you. Now all the written exams in the Navy are of your 10+2 standards if you are going to 10+2 entry, and your graduate level. If you are a graduate, you will be asked only that is pertaining to your syllabus in the graduate entry. Now suppose you have done your BE, BTech, BSc or whatever, BCom, you will be asked only related to those things. So that is taken care of, the written. You have coaching centers for the SSB, Services Selection Board. There are a lot of veteran officers who run coaching centers quite well, quite successfully they run it. Okay, now you'll have to check that out, because we don't have any official training centers like the banks. The banks are running official training centers for them, for the people who like to go into the bank. There are no official coaching centers as far as the Navy, Army and Air Force are concerned. There are quite a few services selection SSB coaching centers available, which are run by veteran officers, which are doing quite well. You need to find out where it is the one that is closest to you. You can go through that. That will be of help to you. Oh yeah, I have an appreciative message from the founder of Shashi Dream Foundation. Mr. Ranga is there. He is saying you have been awesome. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I hope it will be better the next time when I do it. Anyway, thanks for the appreciation. Okay, Nika Jangid. Is English proficiency required to join Indian Navy? Yes, it is required. Now proficiency again matters. If you are going into the officer category, I told you 60% passing marks in English is mandatory, compulsory. Officer entry, right? Now sailor entry, you need a pass in English. But English proficiency is a must. Because Navy में हिंदी कम इस्तेमाल होता है, इंग्लिश ज़्यादा होता है नेवी में. Navy and Air Force uses more of English. Army, it is more of Hindi. बिकॉज जो भी हमारा इंस्ट्रक्शन जो है वो पूरा इंग्लिश में होता है, ट्रेनिंग जो होता है, प्रोफेशनल ट्रेनिंग होता है, वो इंग्लिश में होता है. एंड दैट इज वाई प्रोफिशिएंसी ऑफ इंग्लिश इज अ मस्ट यू नीड. नाउ हाउ टू प्रिपेयर फॉर इंटरव्यू. Nikita, preparing for the interview, it is from Nikita Jange. You will have to go through these SSB coaching centers that I told you. Quite a few are there in the country who conduct these training for the interview. You'll have to go through them. What will you suggest student of class 10 who aspire to join Indian Navy or NDA? Now class 10, NDA rolled out because NDA basically requires 10 plus 2, 70% and 60% in English. Now for class 10, I was just talking to you about it at the end of my program. Class 10 caters to only 4 branches of the Navy. One is the catering branch, one is the stewards branch, one is the sanitary hygienist, and the next one is the musician branch of the Navy. अगर class 10 पास हुआ है, you can only apply for all these 4 branches. ठीक है? Otherwise, all the technical branches and other branches of the Navy in the sailor entry, you have to have 12वीं कक्षा पास होना ही चाहिए आपको. 10+2 स्कीम. अगर सिर्फ 10वीं पास है, आप सिर्फ 4 ब्रांच में जा सकते हैं नेवी का. जो केटरिंग है, खाना जो बनाते हैं उनका, जो स्टीवर्ड्स होते हैं ऑफिसर्स मेस में जो खाना सर्व करते हैं, जो उसका प्लानिंग वगैरह करते हैं, मैनेजमेंट करते हैं रेशन का, वो स्टीवर्ड्स होते हैं, उसमें जा सकते हैं आप. सैनिटरी हाइजीनिस्ट, बेसिकली पीपल हो आपका जो रेस्ट रूम्स वगैरह साफ है वो, या बाथरूम्स, बिकॉज जहाज में तो सफाई बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. एंड दीज आर पीपल हु कीप ऑल दोज एरियाज क्लीन, उनको बोलते हैं सैनिटरी हाइजीनिस्ट. एंड म्यूजिशियन ब्रांच. सो दैट इज, these are the 4 branches for the 10th standard pass. The next comment comes in from Shioli Day. Shioli has asked, sir, Indian Navy and Merchant Navy have same training sessions? No, not at all. Indian Navy is different from Merchant Navy, right? Merchant Navy, you have to go through the exam that is conducted by the Indian Maritime University, which is located in Chennai. It is called as the IMU. For Merchant Navy, you'll have to go through IMU website, and the procedures are totally different. The training is totally different. I was just talking about Indian Navy here. So I hope that is clear. Then Anushka Raut asked me, good afternoon Anushka, which is better, the Indian Navy or the Merchant Navy? 2 different things, right? 2 different things. Indian Navy, you will be working on a warship. It's a much regimented force than the Merchant Navy. Merchant Navy is basically for trading, right? These are trading ships. Merchant ships जो है, आपका जो cargo है, which is being bought from sorry, all the cargo that comes in from abroad are brought in by the merchant ships. Indian Navy doesn't do that. Indian Navy actually protects the Merchant Navy in trading, right? We give protection to the Merchant Navy. You must have come across, there are some issues in the Persian Gulf wherein pirates have set in and captured your merchant ships and all that. That is when the Indian Navy goes to protect our merchant ships so that nobody attacks the merchant ship. Our cargo that is required reaches our shores, reaches India safely. Indian Navy protects the Merchant Navy, right? Obviously, I would say that Indian Navy is better, right? But then it is a different perception altogether. Now, people who want thoda josh jazba jisko hai, he will opt for the Indian Navy, right? The others will go into the Merchant Navy. But basically, both are ships, right? They do the trading part. It's a civilian organization, Merchant Navy, though they have uniforms and all that, but not regimented as the Indian Navy. Are there any overseas employment or... Now this is a question from Anupriya. Anu, again, are there any overseas employment or training opportunities in the Indian Navy? Yes. See, a lot of our assets, most have been started manufacturing in India, but a lot of our assets do come in from abroad. We buy a lot of things from US, from the UK, from France, right? Now, I for one was trained in the UK for about 18 months. I had a overseas training for 18 months in the UK when the Indian Navy purchased Sea Harrier aircrafts from Britain, right? So during the induction program, I was also part of the induction team of Sea Harriers. We had to go to UK for training because the aircrafts were British. So we had to be trained by British and the Royal Navy on operations and all these things. So I was also there for 18 months. So yes, it is available. And employment, yes. Employment, see, we have a lot of, you must be knowing that there are embassies all around the world. And most of the embassies, especially the leading embassies, US, UK, France, Italy, Spain, all these embassies are having a defense wing also. There are naval advisors because since we are closely related with the Royal Navy, with the British, with the US Navy for various training exercises and all that, we have our embassy and the embassy in the US do have Navy, Air Force and Army personnel there because there are naval advisors, military advisors who are there. Part of employment, you need to go there also. Not very often. And mind you, Indian Navy ships very often visit foreign shores. Very, very often. So whenever you visit foreign shore, whenever the ship visits all the men on the ship get to go to the place, see the place and come back. So yes, foreign appointments are there for us. It is there. In trading, most obviously, yes, I have been part of it. So that is available. Anushka Raut comes in with the next question. What is it like to work as an officer in the Indian Navy? Oh, tremendous. It's a great job working as an officer in the Indian Navy. See, there are challenges. Even if you work in a civil arena, there are challenges every day. And here in the Navy, it's a new challenge every day. You wake up in the morning, you are thrown to a challenge that is quite new that you have not experienced till yesterday. Every day you will find something new and enjoy it. Because that is how you get confident. When a new challenge is thrown to you every day, you work to overcome it. And at the end of the day, when you overcome that, you really feel a little bit confident. The next day, a new one comes. Again, your confidence goes up. Right? So it is very nice to work as an officer in the Indian Navy. Superb. Okay. Pradeep Mishra asked me, I am 33 years old. Sorry friend, 33 is too old for the Navy. I retired from the Indian Navy at 33 years after putting in 16 years of service. So 33 years to join the Navy is too old. Right? There are various other options that you can try for. Please do so. All the very best. Okay, Nikita Jangid again comes up with a question. Sir, how was your experience being a part of the Indian Navy? Oh, superb. I really enjoyed my tenure in the Navy. Every moment of it, every day. Right? As I said a little while earlier, challenges are there. You overcome the challenges, you become more confident. Right? And that sets pace because you're not going to be lifelong in the Indian Navy. Now, I was there in the Indian Navy for 16 years, and when I came out of the Navy, I was super confident to handle any appointment in the civil, pertaining to my qualification, of course, right? I was capable of doing it, and I did it quite well. So, experiences have been, it's very good experience. You won't get the like of a naval experience in the civil arena, right? You come across different people. I am from Kerala. Right? I didn't know a word of Hindi when I joined the Navy. I learned all my Hindi from the Navy. Right? I learned so many new things in the Indian Navy. Because I joined as a 17-year-old and retired as a 33-year-old. 16 years of the Navy, I learned many things from the Navy. and which has set a tone for me in the civil. I've been very successful in the civil arena too, courtesy the Indian Navy. Next again, Nikita asked me, what are the extra skill set a person should have apart from education? Yeah, good. That's a good question. Right? Now, extra skill set in sense, these have to be experienced and built. First of all, you need adaptability. Right? You might be good in your academics. You might be good in your physical standards. You might be a good super medically also. There are certain other things, skill set that goes along with it to be a team man. Adaptability. How you adapt to the new situation. Right? This we teach you right in the beginning itself. The moment you clear your exams, your selection boards, your medicals, you are put into the training academy. Right? You will be traveling there alone. None of your parents are going to take you to the training academy. You will be traveling there alone. That itself is an experience in the beginning. Right? As a 17-year-old, as a 19-year-old, 20-year-old, you are traveling to the training academy. Okay, now for the Navy, when you come in as an officer, you might be, Nikita, you must be from the north, wherever, it doesn't matter. The training academy is in the south in Kerala. Right? आप ट्रेन में आएंगे, you will be exposed to different people, and as you near south, you will be coming across people who speak Malayalam, Tamil, and all that. Right? That is another challenge. Now you want to communicate to them. How will you do it? Right? It is all sign language. You will not be knowing Tamil or Malayalam. Right? Occasionally you might find a person in the train who knows Hindi. Right? If you don't find that, it is all sign language. That is how you interact. That is the first challenge thrown to you. Right? Come and get down at Kannur railway station. How do you get to the academy? Of course, getting to the academy is not a problem because there will be a naval transport waiting for you. Right? So you just jump into the transport and the transport takes you to the academy. But there are a lot of other things that come across. You have to be adaptable. You have to be a very flexible person. You have to be a team man. To work in the armed forces, you always have to have a thought about the team. It is not individual skill set that matter there. It is always a team that functions. You are always in a group of 3, 5, 10, 20, 100 and many more. Right? So how to interact with the team? How to initiate activities in the team? All these things come in as extra skill set. Nobody would have told you this in the school or college. Right? But Navy teaches you all that. The first 3 months itself you would have learned a lot. Because when I say lot, it is indeed a lot because there were things that you never practiced at home or in your school or college. It will be totally different. You will yourself feel a lot confident after all those things. Right? So these are the extra skill sets that the Navy gives you, and you have to be prepared for that also. Yeah, Anupriya asked me, what inspired you to join Indian Navy? Well, inspiration to join Indian Navy was because, see, during my school days, I was exposed to a little bit of Air Force, a little bit of Navy. My environment included both Air Force and Navy there. So I was exposed to it and I found it quite interesting. The way the naval people and the Air Force people were interacting, their experiences and all those things inspired me to join the Navy. And let me tell you, I had a very fruitful tenure in the Indian Navy. Girish Godani asked me age criteria for sailor entry as I am 25 years of age. Sorry Girish, the cutoff is 24. For sailor entry, the cutoff is 24 years. Girish is asking me whether he is 25 years of age. I am sorry Girish. 25 is 1 year above the is 5 years above the sailor category. So you will not be, you will have to look for something else. I am sorry. I am BA B.Ed. Suggest me the future in Navy. I don't think you will be coming into the age group criteria that is for the Indian Navy, BA B.Ed. you're slightly over age. Anu again asked me, what is the minimum period of service required to be eligible for pension? Good question. Okay, for the officer entry it is minimum 20 years for pension, and for the sailor entry it is 15 years for the pension. Right? In the officer entry you have permanent commission and the short service commission. Now short service commission is for 10 years, extendable to another 4 years in 2 strides of 2 years each. Right? 14 years short service commission. The tenure ends for the short service commission officer. If it's a permanent commission, to earn pension you have to be serving in the Indian Navy for 20 years as an officer and 15 years for a sailor. Mahindra Ranga sir asked me, what is the retirement age in Navy? Sir, in the Indian Navy, or for that matter any Army, Navy or Air Force, there is no particular retirement age for individuals. It is in the order of merit, in the order of your professional competence, that you go up in the ranks. The only person who retires at the maximum age is the Chief of the Indian Navy, the Chief of the Naval Staff, because he is the only person who gets to serve to the maximum. Otherwise, you go up as per your competence levels and then you retire, because the Navy, or for that matter the armed forces, require people who are very, very flexible and super fit. Right? So when you start fading in your physical fitness acumen, that is when you will be shown the door, or for that matter. But then always see, when you're out of the Navy you are eligible for the civil arena, and quite a good appointment in the civil arena. So there is no a retirement age as such. Now I can't, it is not mandatory that I have to be there in the Navy till 50 years. I retired at the age of 33, sir. After putting in 16 years of service, I joined at 17 years of age, retired at 33 years, because there were domestic compulsions for me to return. So I thought of taking up civil employment. That is why I came out. There are people who go on, professional competence, merit. There are various tests, promotion tests and all that is available in the Navy. You keep clearing them, you can go up. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the question. Harshal ji, what about family when you're on duty? Sadly, family remains on the shore and you remain on the ship. That is how it is. Because you cannot carry family on a warship. Merchant Navy officers get to carry their spouses on the ship, but unlike in the Indian Navy, you can't do that. Right? Only the men are there on the ship and their families are away at the quarters. Now suppose Navy is divided into various commands. The Western Naval Command headquartered at Bombay, the Southern Naval Command headquartered at Kochi, and the Eastern Naval Command headquartered at Visakhapatnam. And we have another command which is called as the Andaman Nicobar Command, which is in Port Blair, right? But then the command is not directly under the Navy, it is in rotation. For 2 years the Army gets to command Andaman and Nicobar, for 2 years the Navy, and for 2 years it is the Air Force, because all 3 armed forces wings are available in Andaman and Nicobar, and it is turn-wise that they get to command Andaman and Nicobar Command, right? So, suppose your ship is part of the Western Fleet. All your family accommodation is available in Bombay or Karwar. You will be on the ship. That is how it is. You cannot carry family on the ships. Yes, of course, you can take your family on the ship when the ship is docked alongside at Bombay or Karwar, and you can show them which is your workplace and how you work, and all those things can be shown to your family, your wife, your children. That facility is of course available, but when the ship is on in the harbour for its maintenance and all that time you can take your family and show them which is your workspace and how you go about all those things, right? The next question comes from Anjali. Anju suggest for post 10+2 pass class students to join Indian Navy. Yeah, 10+2 pass. I was just mentioning you can join the sailor entry, Anjali. Anjali, female, I'm sorry. There is no sailor entry for the families, for the females. For females, there is no sailor entry in the Indian Navy. You can go as a naval officer, but you have to be a graduate. Females have to be a graduate to join Indian Navy, right? Yeah, the next one comes from Harshal. Can you share the experience that is memorable as an incident, good, bad, or something? There are so many, Harshal. So many, right? Because I told you a little while ago, every day is a new challenge in the Indian Navy, right? There are so many things that you come across. One thing I would mention is, okay, see, equally, there are a lot of challenges that come to you. Now, I being in the naval aviation was witness to an incident where my commanding officer, he is Commander Hoti for that matter. I don't know whether he is watching the program or not. A fighter pilot of the Navy, a super fighter pilot of the Navy. There was an incident when his aircraft took off. We were on the ground, we were the ground crew for the aircraft. His aircraft took off and all on the ground could see the aircraft on fire. Right? All of us on the ground are watching this aircraft take off. It's a fighter aircraft, single engine, single seat. So only Commander Hoti is on board the aircraft, flying the aircraft. And we can see the aircraft on fire from the ground. And no subsequent action happening. When I say subsequent action happening, when the aircraft is on fire, you can't do anything about it. The pilot has to exit through an emergency procedure called as ejection. Right? He just comes out like a rocket from the aircraft with the ejection seat on. He is strapped up onto the ejection seat, and he has to come off. Now, we were just watching the aircraft is on fire, nothing happening, the pilot is not coming out. We were just wondering what happened. Suddenly we see him turning. We see the aircraft turning, and we are again losing hope. Okay? But the place where he turned was into the town. This happened in Goa, Naval Air Station INS Hansa at Goa. Right? He turns on to the city, turns back and lands. He turns back and lands. The aircraft is on fire. Right? Somehow he makes a safe landing. He doesn't eject. He makes a safe landing. At the end of the runway, he unstraps himself and jumps out of the aircraft. A little while from that, after he's jumping, by the time the emergency crew has already reached the site, the firefighters are there already, and Commander Hoti, the pilot, he immediately comes out, jumps out of the aircraft, and a little while after that, we heard a small explosion from the aircraft. Right? Anyway, it was not a full damage though. The firefighters immediately took care of the aircraft and extinguished the fire and all that. It was brought back, but the aircraft was unfit for service thereafter. Right? Because normally when you see an aircraft on fire, the immediate thing that goes is the exit of the pilot. He has to eject. Right? But somehow he said, when I was on the ejection mode, I was already on top of a city, and if he was to eject there, the aircraft would have come down on lot many houses, mainly naval quarters. It was right above the officers' accommodation of the Navy, and this aircraft would have damaged a lot of houses, thereby killing a lot of people, killing a lot of families. So he decided, whatever happens, I'm going to take the aircraft and land. Now that was a superb, heroic feat by Commander Hoti. He safely landed the aircraft. Though the aircraft was unfit for further use, we averted a major fire at the officers' accommodation in Goa. The aircraft landed back. Full credit to him. He was awarded for the feat. So that is one incident that still sticks on to my mind. There are so many of those. Okay? A near miss case. A close gap between life and death, for that matter. Whether it happens to you or someone else, one of your colleagues, it does happen in the Navy. It goes on. For that matter, Air Force and Army also. Right? So I think those are the only questions. I hope I've answered all of them. But definitely keep putting your comments and I'll definitely reply to it. Okay? So thank you very much. Jai Hind.